Hello everyone and welcome to Be My Guest, the live show dedicated to the major actors of the automotive world. Today I'm taking you to the south of France. I know it doesn't look like it, but in spite of the rain, we're in Saint-Paul-de-Vence. We're getting ready to welcome back Lexie Limitless. Last September, I took you to Nice to meet Lexie, who was going on a world tour on board a Ford Explorer. She's back today and she's going to tell us all about her incredible adventure, full electric around the world, 30,000 kilometers. And you're going to learn a lot about the Ford Explorer as well, an incredible SUV. I hope you'll enjoy that show. Thank you for watching.
Yeah, so I think it was September last year when I saw you last in person, right? So a lot has happened in your life since then, right?
Oh yes, I've been very, very busy.
Hi Jim, what are your thoughts on this momentous occasion?
Well, for me personally and for the team, it's so exciting to see this new Explorer. I remember when we just started this project just a few years ago, and I see some of the designers, some of our engineers, Martin, they put their heart and soul into this vehicle, and to have it demonstrated this way around the globe, and for it to be here launching just a month away from we turn on the lights in Cologne and start to produce this, it's a really special day for all of the Ford team.
I'm just following now the Explorer in this now GT40. For me, a legend car like that, a car who won Le Mans back in 1965. This is a road car, but I can tell you, it's feeling like a race car.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Oh, let's do it,
Yeah.
shall we?
Okay.
Woo!
Hey Lexie, how are you?
Oh, long time! I haven't seen you since I left.
Nice to see you.
Good to see you too.
Lexie arrived in the middle of a convoy of iconic Fords, past icons, present icons, and future icons.
Great stuff.
We are so excited to get this product in people's hands so that people can enjoy it like you have. I want to thank you for being such a great host today. And I want to thank the whole Ford team for bringing out all these vehicles.
Now let's head back to the hotel in Saint-Paul-de-Vence to meet the whole Ford team. Martin Zander, Amco Lennartz, Peter Zillig, Annalena Striedel, and of course Lexie Limitless. Martin Zander, you are General Manager Ford Model E Europe. That's and right. Chair of the Management Board of Ford Werke GmbH.
That's right.
You were appointed 2 years ago with a specific assignment, driving Ford Europe into an electric and connected future, namely by 2030. Ford is a 120-year-old automotive company with a great history. Louis Calvignon, the president of Ford France, often refers to it as a big family. How does your family react to that big change?
Yeah, there is a lot of change going on in our industry. On the one hand, the transition from ICE products, vehicles with combustion engine, to the future of electric vehicles. That's what we all have to deal with in the industry. But on top of that, we are completely rebuilding Ford in Europe for an exciting future. And having the opportunity to rebuild Ford in Europe, part of the company which you pointed out, 120 years of existence, yeah, a strong brand globally, fantastic iconic products we've made in the past, like Mustang, like Bronco, like Ranger, Raptor. This is really exciting for the whole family at Ford.
Yes, you mentioned it. You built your reputation on iconic models such as the Mustang. It's all about engines and roaring of V8s. So what is the future going to look like?
Yeah, so we are sitting in a part of our future. Yeah, our new all-electric Explorer, the first vehicle designed and engineered and built in Europe in our new plant in Cologne for Europe. But clearly building on the design of one of our global icons, the Ford Explorer. So this is one of a range of vehicles that is going to be much more exciting, much more true to our brand, to the Ford DNA. And you can see it when you look at the exterior design, clearly Ford, clearly Explorer, but also when you look into the interior of this vehicle. Also, once you have the opportunity to drive the Explorer, it's truly Ford. So much more true to our brand and distinct to Ford.
So writing a new history with new icons.
Yeah, we are entering into a new era for Ford in Europe with, on the one hand, building on our tremendously strong light commercial vehicle business. Ford is the #1 brand in light commercial vehicles. And of course, we want to build on this fantastic position. And the next pillar of our future in Europe will be iconic, unique and emotional products. Products only Ford can make.
Some models are disappearing, new are arriving. Which ones are disappearing in the next couple of months and years?
So last year we discontinued the Fiesta because the Fiesta had to make room for the Explorer. Yeah, we completely rebuilt the plant in Cologne into a plant dedicated to electric vehicles, and the Explorer is the first vehicle we are building at our plant in Cologne. And the next vehicle we are going to discontinue is the Focus. We're going to build the Focus until 2025. Yeah, but there is a lot of exciting new stuff coming, like the Explorer. Later this year we are going to launch another derivative of this product, also built in Cologne. And early next year we are also going to launch an electric version of our best-selling Puma, the Puma Jenny.
So the lineup is going to be simplified as well. So you won't have as many models as you used to, but you will concentrate on icons.
Very clearly, yeah, we are walking away from a time where we had a product, a plain vanilla product in each and every segment of the market. Yeah, we are going to compete and to play in segments of the market where we can position vehicles which are truly true to our brand DNA.
So the purpose of that simplified lineup is to make more profit and be more profitable, actually, more competitive, right?
To be more competitive and build a solid and profitable business in a much more challenging and competitive environment. Because Europe is a very competitive marketplace today. Yeah, and when we're moving into the world of electric vehicles, we're going to see many more competitors from the United States, from China. So a very competitive marketplace is getting even more competitive. And what can you do? The most important thing for us is really to understand where our unique strength as a company and as a brand are.
Yeah.
And this is our history, and this is
American roots, American spirit.
Exactly, American roots and American spirit, and nobody can ever copy it. So I think it's so obvious to really bring all these strengths and the emotion within the Ford brand to the surface and use this as foundation to build a future product portfolio. Nobody can copy.
So no more boring models, more Mustangs and more.
Boring
this is what we're heading
is over. Boring is history. Yeah, that's right. Exactly.
So what are your sales goals in Europe?
They're ambitious, like always.
I bet they are.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we look into the competition, and of course, we have the ambition to be successful. Yeah, we have a fantastic product with this Explorer. We have more than 600 kilometers of range, charging speed of only 26 minutes from 10 to 80%, and fantastic design, all the latest technology in terms of connectivity, and as we are announcing today, very attractive prices and monthly payments. So I think we have really possibly one of the best packages for our consumers in Europe with this product, and of course we have ambitious plans.
Is the label Made in Europe important to you?
It is important because we are a strong European brand, yeah, and we have been in Europe for 100 years, and we have a very strong industrial footprint in Europe with our plants everywhere in Europe, and of course we want to keep that. We are a fundamental part of the European industry, and we don't want to change that.
You're going full electric by 2030. Environment has always been a part of Ford DNA. It's not, well, even with combustion engine, environment, nature was part of the American spirit of Ford, right?
So environment and sustainability are, of course, a fundamental value of our brand and of our company, because you can only survive in the long run when you have a sustainable business from an economical point of view, but also from an ecological point of view. This is why Cologne, actually, our new electric vehicle plant in Cologne, is the first completely CO2 neutral plant for Ford globally, one of many to come. So we are clearly committed to CO2 targets when it comes to products, but also our supply chain and the way we make vehicles.
Sustainability is important, but innovation is key too.
Yeah, of course.
Digital,
of course. Yes, of
getting
course.
connected,
Yeah, of course. This vehicle.
Well, innovation has always been part of the Ford DNA as well,
Yeah.
with the Model T and mass production, etc.
120 years ago, Ford Motor Company was most likely the most innovative company on this planet. Yeah, and that's deeply in our DNA, and I think this vehicle is clearly showing how we are living this right now. We are an electric vehicle with fantastic range, so our engineers really went the extra mile in order to create a vehicle that is unique and better than the competition by not accepting what is available, but just always trying to challenge ourselves and make it better when it comes to design, when it comes to charging performance, but also connectivity and the whole user interface and customer experience within the vehicle. So you will not be surprised me saying that, but I think I'm really convinced we have a fantastic product. So I can just encourage you, everyone who's listening, get to a Ford dealer, get a test drive in this vehicle. It's amazing.
Well, for the future, looks electrifying. Thank you, Martin.
And exciting. Yeah.
And exciting.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Now let's talk design with Anko Lennarts, Design Director for Ford Europe. Bart Lennarts, you are Head of Design for Ford Europe, and right behind you is the new Ford Explorer. So can you tell us a bit about the history of that car, how you came up with that beautiful SUV?
Yeah, so we kicked it off back in the day, filling in what we call our hero nameplate strategy. So we've been taking hero nameplates from our lineup and start to expand and stretch the muscles on where can we go with it. So we have done that before with the Mustang to the Mustang Mach-E. We've done it from Bronco to Bronco Sport, and this is our next chapter where we do it from Explorer to Explorer EV, specifically for the European market.
So the challenge is big. Ford characteristics have always been innovation and bold design, and you're writing a new page, a new history page with those EVs going full electric by 2030. So was it easy to draw that car for you? Where did you get your inspiration?
So it obviously the inspiration is from the hero nameplate strategy, but also it starts with proportion, and we were able to make the platform a little bit shorter than we started off with. That made the wheels really nicely on the corner, which set really kind of the basis of a kind of a go-kart feel vehicle that you can do a lot with, and so from a design language point of view, we really wanted to make sure that we have something that feels electric, feels very sleek and very without any interruptions, yet it being really bold. So we've worked a lot on making sure that all our surfaces are really nicely integrated into one shape. So simplicity was absolutely key. We didn't have to hide any proportional kind of problems. So we could really design it in a way that we always wanted it, pure, simple, and let the proportions do their job.
The name Explorer, was it like a roadmap for you?
Who doesn't want to be an explorer? Exploring life, it means you're being curious, it means you're being ready, it means you're being being prepared for things that come in life. So explorer is such an inspirational word and such an inspirational nameplate to build upon, and really reflects what we feel are the customers.
The inside of the car is an invitation to a journey as well. Can we take a look?
Yes, would you like me to go in the driver's seat?
Yes, sure.
So, one of the most important things when we started to design this vehicle was that I wanted to make sure that we have a really welcoming kind of atmosphere, and we did that through these kind of surfaces that are here on the mid console, but as well on the door, which gives you kind of like two U shapes that kind of embraces you in a very warm way, but not too intrusive. What enabled us doing that was this movable screen. So you can drive it in this way if you would like to, if you feel a little bit more sportive, if you're driving on your own, for example. But as soon as family comes in the car, one can put the screen up, can share the information, play around together on Spotify or these kind of things, and that was really kind of the basis of which we designed this interior around.
The comfort of the seats is thought for long journeys as well.
Absolutely.
You even have a massage option in the seat. Well, it's not an option.
It's standard.
It's standard.
Yes. So standard electric seats, heated seats, and massage seats. So it's really made for long journeys. Hence the 602 kilometer range. But also while charging, we during those 26 or 28 minutes, like we stated, we noticed that people stay in the car. We call it stationary moments. So people want to spend time in their car while they are doing the charging, which means that it's got to feel comfortable. You've got to feel relaxing. There's space. There's a screen to share with, and you can see here I'm a 182 person, and I'm completely relaxed, having plenty of space.
And I'm going to go in the back to show there is room in the back as well.
Okay. And so really in terms of space, I'm all the way to the back with my front seats. I would never drive like this. So if you're still comfortable in the rear,
I'm comfortable in the rear.
Then that is fantastic. And I think the adaptation in those stationary moments, I would call them, is also shown in the way that we are working with the flexibility on the storage, where you can obviously do your picnic in France.
17 liters.
17 liters, but also things like even the cup holder. You can move out, putting it in the console. It's sitting there safe, and you can use this for different things. Bottles that stick out. That's not a problem.
And if you want to go for a walk or go to the beach, you can leave your valuables in a locker behind the screen.
And we call that the private locker. So it's actually locked while you're getting out of the car, and when you're going for a run, for example, you can just leave it there.
Well, thanks a lot. I'm sure it's a beautiful car, and I'm sure Lexie enjoyed it a lot during her 30,000 kilometers journey.
I'm very curious about her feedback.
We will see what she says. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Perfect.
Hi, Lexie.
It's been a while
It's
since
been
we've seen each other.
200 days?
Mm-hmm.
Well, congratulations.
Oh,
you made it.
Thank you.
How do you feel?
I feel amazing. I mean, so relieved to finally be here, but also a little bit sad because the journey was so amazing. I almost don't want it to end.
Yeah, I guess when you have such an overwhelming journey, it will be kind of,
bittersweet.
Bittersweet at the end for a couple of weeks, I guess.
Exactly. I don't know what I'm gonna do without this car every day.
Well, after being the youngest person to visit every country in the world, you have set a new world record.
Yes.
You have circumnavigated the world in a full electric car.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, 30,000 kilometers, 6 continents.
Yeah, and 27 countries.
Wow. Yes, so that's just amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And, well, you were following the steps of an early pioneer, Aloha Wanderwell, in the 1920s. The challenge may have been quite different, but it was not any easier, I guess, just because it was electric and because of the charging. So in some remote areas, what was it really difficult to get some charging outside Europe?
Oh yes, I definitely faced a certain amount of challenges on the road, but inspired by Aloha's adventurous spirit and that kind of can-do mentality, I think that it's a matter of just never taking no for an answer and always looking for a good solution. So in places where there wasn't a viable, charging infrastructure, like Zimbabwe, for example, there isn't. Was it
there that you charge on cables? I saw some very funny videos of you trying to get charging on the cables.
No, there was a lot of experimentation happening to make this work, but I mean, I ended up going to places and using like household outlets in like tool sheds or garages or basements, you name it, a lot of different places, and those kind of chargers take anywhere from like 30 hours to charge. So you definitely have to have a lot of patience if you're kind of pushing the limits in that way. But I was actually also surprised by the amount of countries that do have an infrastructure for EV charging. Places like Bhutan are so investing into Bhutan, which you would never expect. A small country in the Himalayas has a charger every 30 or 40 kilometers along major highways. They're fully investing into becoming like the world's first carbon negative country. So EVs are something that's very important to them, and it was really interesting to see.
What were the most challenging times you had to go through? Can you just name one or two?
I mean, having
I know.
there was a few. The most challenging times, I think that of course, there's the charging infrastructure issues. I experimented with everything like solar panels to portable battery packs to make it to where I needed to go. Portable battery packs.
For iPhones?
Like a big one for iPhones. And so there was that type of challenge, but then there's also, personally, I got sick a few times on the road.
Oh, I saw that too.
It was very difficult to recover from that as quickly as I needed to be able to get back on the road and keeping the journey going. So I think being able to overcome those difficulties made crossing that finish line even more meaningful.
And what is your favorite memory of the whole journey?
Oh, I have so many beautiful memories from this trip, but for me, travel is always all about the people that you meet along the way, and I've met some incredible characters on this journey. I went training with the first Muslim female MMA fighter in Malaysia.
You went training with an MMA fighter?
Yes. From meeting Anne to going to the deserts and going sandboarding with a pro sandboarder. Yes, in the desert in the Atacama in Chile. So many incredible experiences. I'm gonna have to spend weeks or months or years just processing everything that's happened.
And what have you missed the most during those 200 days, beside electricity, of course?
Well, I think it's really having like a healthy routine is something that I took for granted a bit at home, like being able to, wake up, make your own breakfast, then go to the gym and have healthy food in your own kitchen and refrigerator.
So personal time.
And laundry, being like the comforts of home are something that you really start to miss after a while.
And how did people react to a young woman driving an electric car and charging in some remote areas?
People were very curious about what it is we were doing here with this EV, and definitely got a lot of funny looks but really cool questions because people were so interested in what we were doing.
That's nice. And are you going now to relax for the next weeks, or are you already planning a new trip?
Oh gosh, I am relaxing for a while. I need to recover physically and emotionally from how intense and full on this trip was for so long, and having a little bit of spontaneous time to kind of just explore at my own pace and maybe relax a bit. I don't have any massive things on the horizon at the moment.
But is there a country when you were on your journey you thought at the time, well, I'm coming back here?
Oh my Gosh, I would come back to every country we went to on
But
this trip.
you visit so many places before going on that Charging Around the World trip. Is there like a new place you have discovered and you really are excited about going back there?
I think one of the countries that I really, really want to spend more time in is actually Georgia. I think that country is so underrated. It was where I finished the first European leg of my trip in Tbilisi, and that place is fantastic. It's so affordable. I highly recommend checking it out.
Okay. And favorite food during the journey?
Oh, so much good food. I think, of course, having like pad thai in Thailand was really amazing. I also had some really amazing empanadas in Argentina, and the steak as well. Don't even get me started. So good.
In French, we say never two without three. So you have now 2 world records. What is your next record goal?
Oh my gosh, I don't know. Who knows? Maybe we'll go to all 50 states or something like that. I don't know. I need a break from the world record breaking travel, I think.
I bet you do. And what did you really appreciate about the Ford Explorer?
I have been living in here for so long. I could tell
it's
you a lot of
like
things.
your second home.
Exactly. I think that the heated seats and the heated steering wheel were a lifesaver for me in the winter because I get so cold. I also really love the fact that the roof is open. It's felt like I've been able to see like all of the trees and landscapes kind of from above. It feels really like open to the environment. Also, I have so much space to like keep everything clean and organized, which was really helpful as well.
I guess the massage option was welcome too.
Oh yes, that was very helpful on these long drives, definitely.
Well, congratulations again.
Thank you.
Lexie.
It's so sweet seeing you at the beginning and the end of this journey.
Well, I really enjoyed following you. It was so much fun.
Thank you.
I'm so in awe of what you did. It's wonderful. Congratulations.
Thank you so much. Yay! Now we gotta go celebrate.
Let's celebrate. Thank you, Lexie.
Oh, thank you.
So Lexie's back.
She's back.
The sun is back.
The sun's back. Look,
so it's a.
I brought my sunglasses.
So it's
the first time since I arrived in Nice.
So it's a beautiful day for Ford today.
Yeah, it is.
So how did you experience from the outside the whole journey?
Listen, I think a journey like this is always more than you expect, right? You remember when Lexie left last September, and I think Lexie was saying to people, I might be back before Christmas.
I know.
Could be 100 days. And I think we knew pretty early on in the journey it wasn't going to be 100 days. Because obviously you always have the unexpected. But it's been phenomenal. We've learnt so much about the car. We've learnt so much about ourselves. We've learnt so much about the brand. We've learnt so much about Ford Motor Company. We've learnt so much about our teams who've been working so hard on this together behind the scenes. So it's been an incredible experience as a company and as a brand.
So I guess a project like this is the best team building event that can be. It's must have been exciting for everyone in the team.
I mean, let's face it, right? We've taken an EV on the longest test drive in history of an EV, right? Basically, over 30,000 kilometers, 6 continents. And you know, all those barriers to EVs, right, which people perceive, you know, charging, range, anxiety, all those things. Obviously, we hope that with this journey, we've done a lot for Ford, and also that we've done a lot for the industry.
Yes,
and
you're
for
right.
EVs generally, right? I mean, of course, we want people to buy a Ford, and we want them to buy an Explorer, we want to buy this. But ultimately, if the population has started to understand the capability of EVs generally, that's a win-win for everybody. So
wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, Lexie, I guess, was the best ambassador you could have dreamed of.
Yeah.
She's just wonderful.
Yeah. You know, I think we spoke about it back then. Like, we never saw her as an influencer. We saw her as an explorer. Youngest woman, right? 21 to go to every country in the world. And I think she really demonstrated that with her attitude to this project. And also her family have a history with Ford, right? I mean, her dad's he runs a construction business. He's always driven F-150s. She learned to drive in a truck, in a Ford truck.
Real American girl.
And a real American, exactly. So, I think she's definitely part of the Ford family now, but I think she was part of the Ford family before she even started the journey.
Yes, and she's just such a good person, and she's very human. She's always smiling. She's a good trooper. She's wonderful.
Yeah, and she's shown such great resilience, right?
Oh yeah,
all the challenges.
Oh my God, I followed her, and I saw those videos of her being sick and and having allergies and everything, and she was so great about it.
And she's never lost her sense of humor.
I know.
Even today, right? Here she is, again, with us all, talking to everybody after at last a good night's sleep post the journey. So yeah, good for her. It's fantastic.
So you told me there is something exciting coming out in June on Amazon Prime, a mini series about Lexie's journey.
So we have had a documentary team following Lexie obviously since day one. They've been with her the whole trip. So we filmed every second, every moment, everything that's happened. And the objective always, clearly we've done a lot of sharing on social media during this adventure and during this journey. But the objective was then always to produce a documentary of the journey. So there's going to be 3 30-minute episodes, so an hour and a half in total. And yes, the hope, the dream, obviously, is that we get it onto Amazon Prime. Clearly, we need to fulfill their broadcasting regulations, etc., and we need to make sure that the content is going to be what we want it to be and what they want it to be. But that is what we want to happen in June, ideally, which is going to be amazing. And obviously it's going to be, Charge Around the Globe brought to you by Ford, but it's entertainment, right? That's what it is. It's Ford behaving as an entertainment brand. This is not an hour and a half advertisement for the Explorer. This is the story of Charge Around the Globe.
I told my mom about that journey, charging around the world, and she's not on social media. She doesn't know anything about Lexie, and you know what was her first reaction? She said, "Oh, it's like Citroën Yellow Cruise." This is the best compliment. And Citroën was acting just the same. It was acting as an entertaining and this is the spirit.
We all saw the power of the Ford brand yesterday, right? On the return, all those old cars, Lexie's
that
return,
was wonderful, yes.
The convoy, the excitement. That is the power of the Ford brand, right? And that's what we're bringing to life again in Europe, because it's been asleep for a little bit, and it's re-energizing the brand through stories like this and through vehicles like this.
Because let's say that that project was a Ford Europe project, right?
Exactly.
So it's not a USA project.
No. So this car, as you know, is only available in Europe. It's not a global product, and it was very much a European project. But obviously, we've had support from our Ford colleagues and friends around the world, as you do when you do a project like this. It's like when Aloha did the trip, right? We know from the history books that Henry Ford wrote to every dealer around the world and asked them to help Aloha Wanderwell if she got stuck. And you saw that Jim presented yesterday a letter
Jim
from
Farley.
Bill Ford
I know.
Lexie at the end of the trip, thanking Lexie for everything she's done for us, for the company.
He was so excited to hear about your accomplishment that he wrote you this letter personally from Bill Ford to you, congratulating you on completing your trip.
Oh, wow.
So it's wonderful that these generations are still supporting projects like this, right? It's brilliant.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations. It was
Thank you very
wonderful to follow, and I hope it will launch in a beautiful way the Ford Explorer.
Exactly. Well, we've launched, as you know, and yes, Charge Around the Globe documentary hopefully in June, and then cars in showrooms we hope from late August, early September. So to anybody out there, get out there, test drive this vehicle, because it is amazing.
Well, thank you, Pete.
No problem. Lovely to see you again.
Lovely seeing you too.
Bye.
Thank you. Annalena Striegel, you are Director of Sales for Electric Vehicles for Europe, and you're launching the new all-electric Ford Explorer. Is it exciting?
Oh, I can't tell you how exciting it is for me. It's such a big day, and specifically for all of us, not only in sales, but across the company. We've been working towards this day for many, many months. And for us, it's the greatest thing to see that we are live now, that we can actually order this fantastic vehicle from today on, right? So it's really been a big milestone for all of us.
So the name of the new SUV, full electric SUV Explorer, you're exploring a new path at Ford, so going full electric. So how is it going to look? How is the future going to look?
So you're absolutely right. So with the Ford Explorer, it's the first electric vehicle developed and produced in Europe for Europe.
So it won't be in the United States?
No, this is a European car,
okay.
Right? So you know the big brother or sister, the big Explorer, it's one of the real American icons. And this one is our European interpretation of this American icon. And you're right, it's fully electric. It's really the first electric vehicle. And it's the start of an era for Ford here in Europe. It's the era towards a full new lineup of vehicles, focusing on a new strategy. So we call it can-do American spirit. It's something very different to what we've done in the past. And I think the electric Explorer is really leading the way towards the future for us in Europe.
So the new electric Explorer has undergone the toughest test drives in the history of cars. It's just gone around the world with Lexie Limitless. Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, absolutely. This vehicle is a true Explorer. And it has been driven by a true Explorer. That's Lexie Limitless. Lexie is the first woman at the age of 21, I think. She has traveled through all countries around the globe. And now she's gotten a world record back then. And now she's actually about to get the second world record of her life. And that's why, because she has driven now as the first person officially around the world in an electric vehicle. And she's done that in our Ford Explorer, right? So we are extremely proud to welcome her back today. She has done, or together they have done more than 30,000 kilometers.
Wow.
They have traveled through 27 different countries, crossed 6 continents, and I think she has a wealth of stories to tell. And for me, it's really the proof. She's done the longest test drive ever. That's how we talk about it. And I think that she's proving the capabilities of this vehicle, right? So that it's an adventure-ready vehicle, our Explorer.
And she's proving as well that you can go electric around the world. Even in some countries, well, I followed her because I met her in September, and I followed her on social media, and it was quite funny because sometimes she was just getting charged, getting plugged on the cables in Africa or somewhere. It was a real challenge, but she made it. It's possible to go electric on a long journey.
Yeah, so that was a very important thing for us, right? It's not just like getting this world record. Right, but there is on the path towards, we are on a transformation of the industry, right? It's huge change. But many customers, they still have a lot of range and charging anxiety, right? And we wanted to really prove through this journey that it's actually possible to go around the world by charging an electric vehicle. And I think what also became very clear, Lexie will tell a lot more about her different adventures in the different parts of the world. But I think charging was never her biggest issue in Europe, right? So for us here in Europe, we actually have an excellent infrastructure, right? We cannot complain, right? If Lexie even manages to go through Africa and to South America with a Ford Explorer,
we should be okay in Western Europe.
Absolutely. And I think that's also something she can tell. But for sure, it's a little bit more like planning required. The first time you drive an electric vehicle, you need to plan for it. But once you got into the planning mode, you know, you get in the habit of it, it just becomes normal, right? And I think it's really exciting about the adventure and the proof that she's really given to us.
So the Explorer has many records too. For instance, the range. Can you tell us about it?
Yes, so we are actually like really proud and honored to share with the world today that the Explorer has a WLTP range of 602 kilometers. That is actually the best range of any vehicle in its segment. Right, and that's not only the one good news, it's also like really long distance, but also very quick to charge. It can go from 10 to 80% with DC charging in just 26 minutes with the all-wheel drive, right? So that again is a really good value. If you are thinking about a long distance trip, right, and you need to do a charge stop in between, probably the vehicle is ready before you are, at least if you're traveling with a number of kids like I'm normally doing. We can never, like 25 minutes, just go like this.
Yeah, we need to go to the bathroom, and that happens quite often. So yes, of course, you can charge really quickly and far quicker than the kids.
Yeah, exactly, and that's just the charging and driving bit, right? I haven't mentioned, right? So the Explorer, it's also all but boring to drive. It's really fun to drive with an acceleration from 0 to 100 in only 5.3 seconds. Honestly, it drives like a sports car. It is really
for such a big car. Yes,
exactly,
that's
it's
nice.
very, very fast. And if you have the chance to get into the vehicle, you'll feel it yourself, right? It really goes up, and it's a lot of fun to drive. It drives like a Ford.
What is nice as well is that, well, everything is included.
Yes.
In the standard version of it. You have two versions. You have one standard and one premium, and already the standard version is nice.
Yeah, absolutely, right? So we call it the all you need and more strategy, right? We have absolutely simplified the lineup. We have the Explorer and the Explorer Premium. The Explorer, it's the entry version, but you pretty much get all features that you need already in the base version of the vehicle, right? We've added a lot of features worth a couple of €1,000 to the standard of the vehicle. All the different 6 colors, like the launch color, the Arctic blue, it comes for free.
Beautiful.
Yes, it's my favorite one, right? But also the 19-inch alloy wheels, they are part of the standard. Right? It's the touchscreen, it's the console, it's the digital navigation, right? It's a lot of tech in terms of lane centering, etc., that all come as in the standard already. So I think that we have one of the best equipped vehicles in the industry. And typically in the past you had all different vehicles lined up and they all look different, and you needed to go to the highest of the range to have a really beautiful vehicle. That's very different with the Explorer. You'll find each Explorer on the road just looks as beautiful as the one in our communication.
Let's talk about the price. Mm-hmm. How expensive or how cheap will be the Explorer?
Yes, so we are launching the Explorer with 2 series and 3 different powertrains, right? So the large battery, rear-wheel drive and all-wheel drive, and the small battery. And the small battery, we will actually have a starting price, let me take Germany as an example, 42,500 euros, and UK as an example, just below 40,000 British pounds.
And what about the premium version?
So the premium version again ranges country by country. Europe, in Germany, for example, it is 49,500. In the UK, it's just about 45,000 for the extended range battery, so the long range battery.
And when will we be able to see those Ford Explorers in dealerships?
So we will have vehicles available for test drive, and then the first deliveries right after the summer.
Okay, great. Yeah. Well, congratulations on that beautiful car. Yes. And a lot of success to the Ford Explorer.
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Annalena.
It will be a winner. Thank you for taking the time.
So no ticket, no speeding tickets on the
on
your tour of the world?
I don't know. Not really.
What do you mean not really?
I don't.
Speeding ticket or not?
I don't know. Maybe one.
Okay, where was that?
I actually, the only time I ever got pulled over was I accidentally drove in a bus lane in Vietnam.
Oh, okay. But you still have your driver's license.
I do indeed. I do indeed.
And let's end with one more look at that beautiful gathering of icons by Ford.